Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this morning has already been a little bit of trouble because I was unsuccessful at getting the camera to work this morning. I really don't understand. Nothing has changed and nothing new has really happened. Yet the computer just doesn't want to pick up my camera for some reason. So we're going to be rocking and rolling today with no visual camera of my beautiful face. I know that that's going to disappoint some of you guys, but there's really just not much I can do about it. So good morning. All right, so we'll give it a couple minutes here. Maybe not really a couple minutes, but a few seconds. Wait for some more people to start strolling in. So Ameritrade and AMD really kind of two ones that I like today. I mean, there's other things that I like too, but whether or not they set up and work is always the million-dollar question. So we should have some time to go over a couple stocks that maybe you guys ask about as usual. We are getting on a little bit late here, but then again, that was also due to some technical difficulties and the fact that it's Monday morning and I'm moving a little slow. All right, so we're gonna start here with we'll start with Ameritrade. So AMTD, let me kind of shrink this down a bit. I'll close out that. I actually kind of want to do something else here. All right, so obviously you can see TD Ameritrade's gotten smoked. They just kind of been downtrending. On Friday was the first kind of green day, right? Friday was really the first green day after a couple days, and it's starting to kind of give us some of those bullish moves, right? So many people are kind of watching it today to see if it can give you another good long day. So I would say watching TD Ameritrade today is a good choice because of Friday. Friday gave you that push initially out of the gates, then it kind of consolidated, and then it gave us another long move middle of the day. So that's starting to give you that bullish long play appearance. And again, best way to probably go about this is following it for a long play over, Friday's high a day area. If we can start getting over some of Friday's highs and consolidation tops, then this will probably be a good candidate to watch for a long play. And if you look at the daily chart, right, if you go look at the daily chart, I mean, this is a big drop, right? So this is a very big drop. A lot of times when something drops this aggressive, you could see a 1 or 2 day bounce where it has a nice move back to the upside. Okay. Now, TD Ameritrade's not the only one that's probably looking similar to this. I mean, yeah, if you look at Schwab, SCHW, very similar scenario where it's been, this looks awkward for some reason, but anyways, it's been beaten down pretty good, so you could be, following this for a little bit of a bounce too. All right, this is kind of beaten down, starting to push up. Same scenario, exactly. Montana Creed. So my picks for today would be AMD, Ameritrade. I would be following Roku. And then there might be a couple other ones that I follow as I get back and kind of look at some stuff closer to the bell. But for now, it would be TD Ameritrade, AMD, and then also be watching. I always watch Netflix. I always watch Roku. So those two will be on the watch too as well. Right now, there isn't really any good penny stocks to trade as normal, as usual. Again, nothing really to... It doesn't really surprise me. Again, guys, this is kind of we should be getting into the busier time for penny stocks. We're just kind of waiting. We're just really sitting here waiting on standby. What I feel is going to happen is they're just going to all start kind of coming in at once. That's how it typically happens. Just someday you're going to wake up, next thing you know, there's going to be a penny stock to play, then there'll be one the next day, and then all of a sudden it feels like they're just kind of coming out of nowhere, and we're getting a lot of good penny stocks to trade, and then they'll die out again. And it's just kind of what happens. Okay, on to the next one, which is AMD. So AMD is pretty much straightforward. You can see from about 31, came all the way down to 27, and then it bounced for the past 2 days. And today it's just kind of sitting here at a flat top, right around $29. It's just flat. So if we can start breaking up and over $29, I think we're going to see AMD have a really nice long day where we could probably target this area up here, $29.50. So though it's only about a 50-cent play from where it'd be currently at up to here, regardless, it could still be a nice move on a stock that I'd be willing to trade. So I believe we could be seeing a decent long play if AMD gets over 29 successfully with strength. If it gets up and over and then it starts to get all funky and it just kind of comes back down and rolls into a short play, then I'm just going to leave it alone. But again, if we can start seeing this get up and over 29, lead us into a nice squeeze long, I would be targeting kind of around 29.50 and maybe just a bit over that top there. Yeah, Steve, RNG did have a big move. We could take a look at that. I didn't end up, I mentioned it to some members in our chat room as soon as it started popping up. We were a little bit late to it. I think it was like right around, might have been like right around here. Some of them caught this move. But yeah, it was like right around here when I mentioned it. I stayed away just because I wasn't really in the mood to trade a massive spread stock and just didn't want to get myself involved with that. But yeah, this did have a crazy run, really is what it is. Really monstrous run on Friday. Still heading up a little bit higher today. I believe it's into a 52-week high, is into a 52-week high. If you take the 4-hour chart, we'll be up to 174. But yeah, you could watch this. I mean, once the hype and once the momentum dies out, it's going to roll over into a pretty decent short. But yeah, this could definitely be worth watching today. Might still get some momentum to push that up. But again, the big day was Friday. A day like Friday will most likely not happen today. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's not really that you'd be chasing, but you're sort of, right? You're hoping for something like that, but you're not going to get it. You might get a small move, but nothing anywhere as close to that. Good morning, Lena. Yeah, we could take a quick look over here at Ulta. Sure, why not? Oh, yeah, that's not good. It's not what you want to see. The big breakout day gave back all of its gains. Yeah, so for me, I wouldn't really be crazy about buying Ulta unless it comes down to about 241. 241 was the breakout level, so that would be a bounce level. If it can hold over 241, that's where I consider getting long. If it starts to break back down below 241, I would be taking off on that stock. So yeah, like this is just a big short squeeze, long day, so it's just giving back all of those gains. And I wouldn't really be crazy about it until it can get down to 241, right? If you look at this, all right, these two double lines, that's about 241. I would like it long off of that for like a bounce or dip buy, however you want to look at it. Be custom, that's because that yellow arrow comes from the Zoom meeting in our private group. So it doesn't actually come from Thinkorswim. Samir, no, so I don't really, so the stocks that I'm looking at that come in the video don't ever really come from a scan. I mean, sometimes they do, but more likely than not, the stocks you're going to be seeing on a lot of my videos are going to come from an earnings report, which you don't even need a scanner to find. They will come from just following stocks every single day, like AMD. It will come from just trading the markets, and sometimes you see things pop up on scanners, right? So then the next day you might follow them. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Sometimes, yeah, you can find stocks from scanning, but generally it never really comes from scanning. It's more or less just being involved in the market every single day that you start to just figure out these things, right? So, for example, Ameritrade and all the brokers, those first came to me, or I first found out about them from a scanner. One of my pre-market scanners says, hey, look at Ameritrade today, it's down really big. And the reason it's down really big is because all the brokers are deciding to cut out their commissions on their, their companies and trading commissions. So they're all starting to go down. And then the scanner tells us that. And then for the next couple of days, we can follow Ameritrade without having to use a scanner, right? So once it hit the scanner the first time, we knew that it might be active for the next couple of days and no longer really needed the scanner to find that particular stock. So the reason it's on there today is not because of a scanner. Today, it's because of a scanner like 4 or 5 days ago. So, yeah, sometimes it comes from scanners. PG only. I've never been one for reading tape and being able to identify trend through tape personally. So I really couldn't answer that question for you. Yep, Earnings Whisper is a good source for figuring out earnings reports. CAPR, what do I think it will do today? Probably not be a good trader. There might be a few little bounces here and there, but with the way it's dropped out pre-market, it doesn't really give you any appeal to want to be trading it personally, unless, so that's just it. There's really nothing about it that's very enticing. Why did the penny stocks this season only have big pre-market moves? So it seems like what you're asking is, why is it that the penny stocks always seem to be up pre-market, then they crap out during the live trading day? That's normally how they go. That's actually their more normal movement. Their more unnormal movement is when they go up pre-market and they actually have a good run during the day. So that's what you have to be. That's how your mind should be working, right? When you can start telling yourself that penny stocks going up pre-market, then failing during the day and not being good to trade is actually normal, and then penny stocks going up pre-market and actually having a good day is unnormal, then you'll start being more realistic with your trading expectations and your outcomes will start to become more realistic, because that's what they're like. That's what penny stocks do. They normally don't have good days. So the days that they do have good days, that's something to, take and run with. Don't expect it every day, because it's not going to happen. It's not supposed to happen. But we are coming into a season where penny stocks should be more active, and opportunities are going to be a little better. Should. What do I think of Uber? I wouldn't be buying it. So it's the best time to trade them pre-market? No, the best time is not necessarily to trade them pre-market. The best time is not necessarily to trade them during the day. The best time to trade them is whatever you're best at trading, or whatever makes you feel the most comfortable, or however you trade the best. That would be the way that you'd want to go about trading them. I don't like trading them pre-market, and just because things go up pre-market doesn't make that pre-market's the best time to be trading them by any means. That's just it. So I like to trade them during market open. I usually avoid trading penny stocks pre-market. So however you choose to do that. So you're asking about Starbucks. What do you think about Starbucks? Seems to be catching. It could be. I mean, the market's pulled back for a couple days. So if you're seeing a bounce on Starbucks, it's more or less because the market bounced for the past 2 days. So that makes sense. Yeah, it holds bounce. Yeah, that's probably worth watching. Let's see where we're at. Cheeseburger support. Wow, that was pretty obvious for a short there. Yeah, this is starting to bounce a little bit off support, kind of. Yeah, you could watch that. I mean, I don't particularly like it. This is more of like a downtrending move, and you're just counter trend trading a bounce. There's no high or low. There's nothing to tell you that it's actually going to reverse from here and then turn into a developing long play. At this point, I'd only be trading it for a short-term counter trend trade bounce, and that's probably about it, anticipating that it would continue to resume trend, which is to the downside. Mohammed, yeah, as soon as a earnings report is released pre-market or in after-hours trading, more oftentimes than not, pretty much all the time, your earnings report from a company will come out in after-hours trading or pre-market trading, and there's going to be extreme volatility a lot of times surrounding the earnings report release. Not on all companies, but on many. Snapchat, yeah, I'll take a look. Yeah, Snapchat popped up Friday and then got absolutely smoked. I mean, honestly, I'd probably be short bias on Snapchat. Well, maybe not. But Friday, I mean, it had such a beautiful long developed setup and then it just got hammered. And sure, it did hold some support, but for right now, I feel like I want to be more of a seller on Snapchat, but it's hard because it is at support, and it did kind of hold in the market. I mean, it's pretty straightforward here. If you look at Snapchat, as long as it continues to hold above 1444, I'd be on the long side. If it breaks down 1444, which is the low of day hold from Snapchat on Friday, I would look to be more of a seller on that. ADMS, what is this question? Hold on one second. I wouldn't be shorting ADMS right now. Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, it's already at the bottom of a big move. So if you look like where should you have been shorting? You should have been shorting here, right? And then covering into this move down. But of course, if you look at it now, it's already down. I wouldn't particularly be looking to short on the low. So that's another thing, right? It's the same thing as buy low, sell high, and same exact opposite, but same thing, sell high, buy low, right? So that's another thing we see a lot of people when it comes to shorting. When something's going down, they think, oh, I'm just going to come in short, and it's going to keep going down, and then it ends up squeezing. So it's kind of the same scenario there. Definitely be careful with that. Aurora 80, yeah, I mean ADMS. If you look at it, yeah, sure, there's a little bounce that happened from the other day, but I don't ever trade. I wouldn't trade this myself. I can just see the way it moves, and this is not something I myself would typically be trading. Oh yeah, I forgot to look at some of the weed stocks this morning. I wonder what they're doing. CGC kind of just hanging out. Nothing good there. ACB is probably doing the same. Yeah, just hanging out. I mean, it's Kron's doing the exact same. Yep. Yeah. So nothing good there on the marijuana side yet. So that's a good question. If the trade war ended tomorrow, I'd have to. I mean, I don't. That's one thing is, I'm not entirely sure what the major stocks are. Some of the stocks are most affected from the trade war, but steel would probably be one of them. U.S. Steel would probably be a good choice. Steel's been hit pretty good from the trade war. Probably would pick Apple just because Apple's such a heavy market weighted stock that if the market ended its trade war, the market would fly and Apple would just squeeze like crazy. As a third, maybe Caterpillar. Caterpillar might be another one I'd pick for trade war if trade war ended. Caterpillar, Apple, and steel. Nvidia. Oop, let me go back. Excuse me. Yeah, so Nvidia has a strong kind of pre-market move so far today, but it's not something I'm crazy about. If you go look back, let me take some of these drawings. Got a lot going on here. Yeah, so Nvidia does have a strong move pre-market, but I mean, yeah, I could see it moving a little bit more. This might have actually a long move on it, but this is still kind of goes against my rules, which is this is kind of the first move right into a previous high, which typically fails. So I wouldn't really necessarily be long bias on this play. I would actually start aiming more at being short bias because the move's coming up into the previous top, which normally will not break through on the first attempt, and where we start to see a pullback off like a double top formation. So I'd be more inclined to actually see this kind of stop out, kind of stop right around 188 or this previous high top. Yeah, I could take a look at ERS. I'm gonna go with probably not so much. Yep, I'd leave it alone. I wouldn't trade it right now. There's just nothing about this setup, nothing that would really make you any money. Just downtrending, low volume, arguably, and barcoding stock. Hard to make money trading that, so I'd leave that alone. And what time is it? 9? All right, perfect. So 9 o'clock, got to run back to our private group. So I do, do thank everybody for tuning in here. So yeah, anyways, we're going to shut her down there for today, and then I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for another stream. So I always do appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry I couldn't have the video going today for whatever reason. The camera just didn't want to work. I have no understanding as to why, but I will see you guys all in just another day or so. All right.